Hi, my name's Cheri. Welcome to my workshop. I'm going to show you a really fun card today. It's a take two. If you saw my 10-minute wow card that I did the other day, this one's like a 15-minute wow card. It takes a tad bit longer, but not much. And I wanted to remind you that today, Monday, January 25th, is the last day that you can sign up if you want the full kit version of my online retreat, because tomorrow morning I'll be ordering all of those of you that have ordered the full thing, because you get 3 stamp bundles. So you'll get this one, and I'll put the links so you can go check it out, because I want to talk a lot about it because I need to keep creating projects for it. And I have 2 kit classes that are going out today, so I have a lot to do, so I don't want to talk. But it's going to be a super fun retreat. But today's the last day that you can get the full kit, where you get everything. You get all of the stamps, the dies, and the supplies to make the 12 projects that we'll be doing over the retreat weekend. But my retreats are this year all online, and you don't have to do it while it's there, because it's housed on my YouTube channel. You'll get private links. So if you don't have it that weekend, you can do it whenever. The links will be there for at least a year. So it's an escape to the beach, but if you'd rather not get the sets, you can just get the classic retreat, and you have to the end of the week until I mail those out to go, or you can just get the videos and supply all of your own supplies. So I'll put the link down under this video. If you're on Facebook, then you can go to the link that I'll put under where I post that. The best way to get all the details is always to be on my email list, and you can join that several ways. If you don't know how, then just let me know. So I'm going to use Friends Are Like Seashells, which is what I used last week on the card that I did. And I'm going to show you a couple of different things. So it's the Sand and Sea Suite. The colors that we'll be using for the retreat that you'll need to have in inks are these right here to hit the beach. And you can see those in the catalog, or you can ask me and I'll let you know what those colors are. Otherwise, other than that, you'll just need to have some basic supplies. So the card that started this kind of all was this one that I did. And if you haven't seen this one, it's in the pines, and I did this probably last August, and it was for the holiday catalog. So the stamp set's no longer available. I think the stamp set is, but the die is not. These papers I think still are, but if you saw this one, because I kind of copy from myself, so you can see I got the idea to do the window sheet. I used a different die, but because I don't like to cover up these beautiful embossing folders, that was where I did the little stamping. This one I embossed on, this one I just stamped and stays on. So both of these videos I will put the links up for if you've missed them. So I went from this to this last week. And so because this was still laying here, I thought, well, I'm going to do the same kind of thing now, but I'm going to use the new foils, because these are the foils from the holiday catalog that was out last fall, and now we have these beautiful new foils that are part of the Valentine suite. So don't look at the catalog and think, I'm not going to do any Valentine cards. I don't need to look at that, because there's some super pretty stuff. So I'm going to take these Valentine foils, and we're going to use it on this beach card. And I'm going to really copy myself again, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. So here's my inspiration, which I've already inspired myself once with the card I did last week. So these come in Rococo Rose, Blushing Bride, and Sahara Sand. And then this is just a piece of scrap. So I'm going to just use my seal. And you just want, this is Seal Plus, and you just want enough to hold these in place. I'm going to start with my most neutral color in the middle, so Sahara Sand. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because you're just going to use this as a placeholder. So put this on, make sure it's stuck to your seal, and then you can go either side. And this just butts up against. Don't press it down into your seal till you know it's where you need it. These are cut a smidge under 4.5, maybe 1/8 of an inch under, because you don't want this to be much bigger than 4 1/4. But you can trim it if it's the wrong size. You just don't, you want your panels to be mostly equal in size. So you can see that's sticking off a little bit. So I'll just take my scissors before I put it through my folder and trim it down. That's why I like these to be a little bit littler, but even when they're a little bit littler, sometimes that happens, because when you start in the middle and they're not quite the same, because this is just a piece of scrap. So now I'm going to take the super beautiful folder, because we're letting these folders do most of the work. And this is the Seashells 3D. Actually, I'll go ahead and do the stamping so I can just do all of my stuff at once. Then this is not the pearl, because the pearlescent paper is super, super beautiful, but it takes a second to dry if you stamp on it. So I'm just going to use our shimmer white, which is my favorite. It's always been my favorite. And I think it's still my favorite just because that pearlescent, it has a little bit of a learning curve, and because it takes a second longer to dry. So the shimmer white is beautiful and you can do a lot with it. And then I'm stamping with Rococo Rose. So these are out of the stamp set. I'm going to do the tiny little shell and then the starfish. So I went with little ones. There's some giant shells in this. And to be honest, once I have done the retreat and I have used Shark Frenzy and the flamingo and this set, I don't know that you'll see very many more videos on my channel using them, because I will have used all of my creativity for the girls in the retreat. So if you want to see what I do with those, you need to do the retreat, because then I'll be moving on to new sets for next month. You can also do all of my online classes for free if you're part of my team. You get the video portions all the time for free. And normally you get my Try It class for free. You get the supplies for that. The first 3 of them, you get all the supplies for free when you sign up. This one I'm going to use our new oval punch, but I'm out of those because I've had a few people sign up, and so all of my packets are gone. So if you want to sign up now and you'd rather have this for free and count as one of your things, then I'd be happy to send you the card supplies. You don't get all the stamp sets because you can get those with your own discount that you get once you sign up. So punch that out. This is the new double oval punch. But if you want to talk about that, you can just email me for details. Now we can pull the cut and emboss machine over. Do all this at once. So I'm just going to lay this in here. You want it to be the folder is a little bit bigger than a 4-inch piece of cardstock, so you have leeway either side, but just kind of put it in there. There's more shells at the bottom and these at the top, so I like to make sure I get all this down here. Then if you have this machine, you need the gray plate. And just spin that through. Mine's laying on top of my card, so it slipped a little bit. It doesn't normally slip at all. But if you lay it on cardstock instead of the table, it will. And just look how beautiful this is. And I ended up with the same problem where I didn't want to cover it up, but for this one I did. Is that not beautiful? Mine's now going the opposite way of the sample I've already made. Isn't that so pretty? So mine's going to look a tad bit different because I wasn't paying attention. Not that it matters. This goes to show, like, if you're doing the retreat or you're copying online or you're at a class and you do something and it's not just how the demonstrator did it, it doesn't matter. Because when I did mine the first time, I just laid it in there. There wasn't a wrong or a right. It's just how I laid it in there. And this time it's just how I laid it in there. So these little dies come with the bundle, the seashell bundle. And if you already have a shell set and you want to do the retreat, then just get the card thing, the classic retreat where you just get the card things and use the shell set that you have. But then you might want to buy that folder, because the folder, that's the best folder I think that we've had. The Pines one was good. Like, we've had some good folders, but this one's just fabulous. They have my 2 little shells. Now we just have to put it together. So the other one was 10 minutes because really, and we did it at camp and everybody did it super fast. It looks like it took a million years, but it's really super fast. So this is sand. Now we're going to take this. I'm just going to do this one opposite, just so you can see how opposite you can do it and it's still fine. So I'm going to use my hoops. These are out of the annual catalog. I'm pulling some annual catalog stuff out of this because that's what we're going to do in the retreat. It's going to have a mishmash of stuff. So I'm going to take my Seal Plus. That's why another reason I went with it. And I'm just going to add it kind of over here. And you can see, because I had those 2 layers of Seal Plus, when I ran this through, it really stuck it to that back. So you don't need a lot. So I'm going to glue this right here. And we are going to lose a little bit of the design, but there's enough going on. Whoever gets it, they're going to know it's a shell card. And then this is out of the annual catalog, and it's part of the Forever Greenery trim combo. So you just need a little little piece like this. We did this in my Try It class when the annual catalog was new. And you just take, and tonight I'm Zooming with my team who all got their packets so we can do the Try It class together. Well, I feel a little bit schizophrenic at the moment. I have so many things going on. That's why I didn't want to take a lot of time at the beginning showing you samples. So see, I've pulled one from this direction, and you just pull carefully. You don't want to pull it out the end, because if you pull it out the end, then it's just the whole thing's going to just go back the way it was, less one string. So get about there and then stop. And then where you have this seal in here, lay it in there, and it will grab it, just like that. And then I just took my snips and I lifted that up and stuck that one under, which is not what we did on the Try It thing, because that one we were making more of a wreath. This one I'm thinking more of stuff that gets kind of wrapped up in the ocean. You know, how it all gets twisted around. And so once you have that there, it's just gonna kind of lay for a second, because I'm gonna stick some other stuff to it, so I don't want it to stick down. Now I've got the linen thread, which is one of my thank you gifts this month, which I've gotten kind of mixed around. This one still is, but some other things are on back order for a long time, so I'm switching them up. So if you're getting a thank you gift this month, make sure you check my next email. So switch this around, and then I just kind of, you know, just pretend you're the ocean waves, and it's just kind of going however. So there's no rhyme or reason. And because it's on these, it's already got that little natural twist to it. So don't fight it, just work with that. This is when normally when I'm crafting, I take my glasses off. So I still have them on. Pull that up under. And then I just kind of left it like this. And then I took my seal, pull this back around, and then I just kind of put it, let's put some seal there. A little bit there. And then I took my word. See, it's still got a little bit of lift to it because we can work with it now. Put some adhesive on the back of this. Slide this under. You drop it. And I wanted to get a little bit of the scalp down underneath that. Now I can take this back up here. Now that you know where your words are going to be, I'm going to put a little bit of seal here. And kind of grab those there. See, it doesn't matter where it's really going, because you just kind of make it go where it looks good. And every card's going to be different because the way you pulled it through. Put a little bit there. Hold that down. And then I have my two shells that can kind of help hold things in place and cover up any seal that you think that you might want to cover up. So I'm going to take, oops, well, I'll do it afterwards because I did paint some shimmer on those, some Wink of Stella. So pop that on. See, this makes it go from the 10-minute card to the 15, because this is it's not hard, it's just a little fussy, and the other one didn't really have anything fussy because the way I put the ribbon on the other one was so super simple, and it managed to hold and hide all that window sheet. So this one I'm going to help use this. I'm going to pull anything that is kind of dangly. I'm trying to do it so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to help hold my ring in place, this ring over here. Make sure you don't cover up your words. So there we go. And you kind of loosen this back up because not all of it sticks, just that bottom layer is stuck. So got that, grab your Stella. Just gonna add a little bit to your shells. That way you don't have to color them, but they don't look like you just stuck them on there. Then I have, these again are from the regular catalog, and they're just our metallic pearls, because if you see these on here in the sand, they look almost identical to these once you get them on the card. Well, if I can get mine on the card. Come on. People always say, why don't you use your Take Your Pick tool? And to be honest, I use it when I am stamping on my own, but when I go to film, I have so much stuff on my table already, and you can see how I already lose stuff. And when I like move my machine over, I just move everything, and then I'm just looking for one more thing. So this works okay. The Take Your Pick tool does work better. And the same with the adhesive. Like when I'm doing my own, then I would not use Seal Plus for this, but it's one more thing in my way. So take this, and because it's Seal Plus, here's a little tip. Hold this here, make sure it's straight, and you can see I put that in the middle, and I'm not going to press it down where I know the seal's kind of here until I know this is straight, because once that touches the Seal Plus, it's hard to get it off. Almost impossible. So that's a little long. So you can either cut it, or I can see, I'm just gonna cut it. You could work it back under and get it stuck under there. There we go. So here it goes this way. Here it is, just opposite. So see, there's no wrong, there's no right. One's just on one side, one's on the other. They both look the same. As long as you have, don't think you want your pinks next to each other. So try to put your sand foil in the middle, because it just gives it a nice break. So again, there's those. Here's the one I did the other day. So completely different looking card, but almost the same concept. Still super easy. And here's the one that inspired them all. So if you have a folder and you have some beautiful foil and you have some window sheet, a lot of people have asked me what this is. It is in the catalog. It can be stamped on with Stays On, which is this, or embossed on. It holds the heat. I don't know about any other. Don't ask me if you can get it at Office Depot or if you have old things laying around that might work. I don't know, because this is all I've used. So I'm not going to test other things when I can just buy it from myself and use that, because this works perfectly. So that is in the catalog, and it's called Window Sheets. That's what it's called. You can also use it for shaker cards, which there is a shaker card in the retreat. So there you go. If you're interested in signing up, you can find the link on my website. It's under the tab. All of my classes are under the tab at the top, online classes. So hit that. There's always a link in every blog post too for my classes, but that's where you'll find it. Everybody have a great week. Bye.